Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary. Today is July 29th, it's a Thursday, so hopefully you guys have had a good trading week so far and you are, oh, I don't know why I've just started that again, there we go. Well, the disclaimers are up, you can read those whilst I say hello. So hopefully you guys are having a good trading week so far and you are ready for the last couple of days. My name is Becky, my email address is there, becky@tradictive.com, and there's also support@tradictive.com that you can get hold of me on. Or hold of anyone if you have any questions. Now the disclaimers have just been covered, so hopefully you guys are able to just read those quickly. If not, of course, you can come back and pause the video later to read them. Important to understand disclaimers, of course, for legal reasons and what you can expect from these kind of sessions. Now, I just want to show you very quickly a link that you can go to, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. You can come here to set yourself up with a free Trade with UFOs membership. With that, you'll get recordings of sessions that we do, you'll get reminders of sessions that we do, you'll get the odd discount and things like that on upcoming courses, you'll be known or made to know about upcoming courses that we have first. You'll also get this email that I'm about to go through will come through to you every day. Now, once you have your free Trade with UFOs membership, you can also come down here and ask a question in this area. Now that's great because it's then a question that's out in the public domain, which means other people can see the questions and other people can see the answers. So when we answer them here, if you scroll down, you'll see questions that other people have asked and answers attached to them. When people ask questions here and we answer them here, everybody else can see it, which means the whole community are learning from this place. So if you can ask questions here directly, we'd prefer that. So it's at tradewithufos.com/Becky. You can also, if you want to, book one-on-one coaching with me here as well, if you'd like. Okay, so the 3D market commentary is an email that we send out every day. Now this is actually yesterday's one. I had technical problems this morning. I couldn't get a hold of the current one. But I'm just going to use it here as a template and then I will explain to you what today's data is using the charts that we have. So normally every day you'll get an email that will have three major elements for 5 major markets. So we look at 5 major markets in the world on daily charts. Of course, different things happen on different time frames, but we're using a daily chart here. So what we go through is relevant to the daily chart. We look at 3 separate elements in order to understand where the probabilities lie, what we can expect from these markets. So first things first is we look at market climate. Upcoming market direction. Where do we have probabilities? Is the market likely to move up or likely to move down? And therefore, should we buy or should we sell? Or maybe we should do nothing. We use an app to help us with this. It's this app here, the AutoClimate app. AutoClimate is a free app on most platforms that you can get it on. So check that out on MetaTrader, TradingView and TradeStation. Most of the time it's a free app. Now with this, we use it to help us answer the question, is the market going up, down or nowhere? And should we buy, sell or do nothing? So if we have a thick blue dot, like that one there, that tells us that we have probability upwards, that we should be looking to buy. If we have a thick red dot, like one of these, that tells us probability downwards, we should be looking to sell. If it's a thin dot of either colour, that tells us not enough probability either way, do nothing. So we're using technology to help us answer that first question. Then what we want to understand is, if we're going to buy, where do we buy? If we're going to sell, where do we sell? This is where our buy and sell UFOs come in. We call them UFOs because it stands for unfilled orders. Now essentially what we want to know is, where are all the buyers at? Those are in the green UFOs. And where are all the sellers at? Those are in the red UFOs. So if we buy, we want to buy where there's lots of other buyers. The only way price can go up is if there's more buying than selling. And so we want to buy where there's lots of other buying going on because it's much more likely to push price up from there. So we want to know where that is. And so we use the AutoUFO app to show us where those buy orders are. And it tells us with prices on the right hand side as well, where these orders are, where the buyers are. If we want to sell, then we want to sell with lots of other sellers. The only way price can go down is if there's more selling than buying. So if we want to sell where there's lots of selling, much more likely to push price down. And so we want to know where these red UFOs are and the prices attached to them as to where it is that we're going to sell specifically. So we use UFOs to help us with our entries and exits. Then we want to understand market volatility. How quickly can we expect these prices to move? So what we'll do is we'll go through, this is yesterday's, but a lot of the data is going to be very similar, but I will give you the up-to-date information based on the charts, and we'll go through the markets one by one. Now the first market is the S&P 500, or the ES, which is the futures contract for it. Essentially, we are looking at a representation of US stocks. That's what we're looking at here. Now with this, we have, same as yesterday, confirmed upwards climate, so thick blue dot here, probability to the upside. Now usually the market would go up for 8.81 candles. I'm going to round that up to 9. So usually goes up for 9 candles, and as we can see on the data here today, we're on candle number 6. So that tells us that we still have room to move to the upside based on what usually happens. Now with UFOs, we have buy UFOs just here, or a buy UFO just here, between 43.71.5 to 43.41.5. Now from here we can see prices already come into that UFO and moved upwards. That's what we expect UFOs to do, is push price upwards. That's why we want to know where the buy UFOs are, so we know where to buy. If we're selling, we want to look for sell UFOs. So we've got a UFO underneath us that's a buy order. It's already pushing price up. We have probability upwards with the climate. Overall, probability up here with the US stock market based on this time frame, with a little bit of room for it to continue to move up based on what usually happens. Now, of course, these are all using probabilities and statistics. It's not to say something definitely will happen. Crazy things happen in the markets. We manage our risk just in case. But if we're going to be trading, we at least want to make sure we have probability on our side. And for the time being, we have probability up here with the S&P. Now, in terms of volatility, we would expect that in 1 year, the S&P would move up or down by 18.68%. Now, that means in 1 day, up or down of 51.74 points. In a week, it's up or down of 113.9 points. And in a month, up or down of 237.11 points. And that tells us what we can expect in terms of movement up or down on these markets. For the time being, probability up for the S&P. Now moving on to the next market, which is oil. Now in the meantime, it says there about the courses that we offer. We offer courses in futures, stocks, forex, backtesting, trading plans and psychology. So go and check those out depending on what is going to be more helpful for you. Most of them as well will come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps. Now, AutoClimate, as I said, is a free app. AutoUFOs is a paid-for app. It costs different amounts on different platforms, so depending on which platform you use will depend on the cost for that. You can subscribe directly to them if you'd like, and just go straight and get the UFOs. You don't need to take a course, but if you did do a course, you'd get 3 months free access to them. So it depends what you want to do as to how that works for you. So with oil, we had, same as yesterday, an unconfirmed climate. See, it says confirmed no, and we have a thin dot here. Doesn't matter about the colour. Doesn't matter if it says up or down. The more important thing is it's a thin dot, meaning less probability, meaning we do nothing. We change market, we change time frame. No point trading something that doesn't have probability on our side. Now, as far as UFOs go, we have a new UFO here that formed, by the looks of it this morning, between 72.43 to 70.56. So we do have buy orders just beneath us that again have already worked a little bit to push price up a little bit. So if that continues and price continues to the upside, wouldn't be surprised of course to see the climate confirmed to the upside, but for the time being, overall not enough probabilities to call it. In terms of volatility with oil, we'd expect that oil would go up or down in 1 year of 35.14%, which means in a day up or down of 1.6 points. Just checking something real quick with a chat box there, but nothing there. In a week up or down of 3.52 points, and in a month up or down of 7.32 points. So that is oil. Let's check out the next market, which is gold. Now it says there about coaching and support. Of course, we do a lot for free on YouTube and other free platforms, so you can join us there for help and support. If you want to join us in our closed coaching community, where you get access to more of our time in a closed environment, you can check that out as well. So with gold, we have, it's actually different than it was yesterday because we've now got a thin dot. That thin dot tells us that we have an unconfirmed climate. It does not matter the colour. What matters is that it's thin. If it's a thin dot, unconfirmed climate, not enough probabilities either way, so we choose to do nothing. We change time frame, we change market, but we do nothing on this time frame on this market. Now, with UFOs, we have sell UFOs just here that we are within at the moment. Those UFOs are from 1866 to 1804.4. So if price hits this deeper stack of UFOs and then comes down, we might see price confirm itself to the downside. For the time being though, we've just got to wait and see what happens because we don't have enough probabilities either way. Now in terms of volatility, on gold we'd expect in 1 year movements up or down of 15.51%. In a day, that's up or down of 17.59 points. In a week, 38.72 points. And in a month, 80.6 points up or down. Okay, so let's move on to the next market, which is the US dollar. US dollar is responsible for about 80% of transactions worldwide every day. Be aware of it, whether you trade it or not, it's going to impact probably a lot of what you trade. Now again, we have a slightly different situation to what we had yesterday. So we have a thick red dot here now. That tells us probability to the downside, that we should more be looking to sell. Now usually the market would go down for 5.67 candles, going to round that up to 6, and we're on candle number 3 today. So that tells us that we have probability of a continuous move down based on what usually happens. So we're kind of halfway into that usual move. Now we also have sell orders up here at 93.47 to 93.005, and from that we can see they've actually already started to push price down. That's what sell orders do, is push price down. So we want to know where they are so that we can get in at that point as well. We have buy orders here at 90.64 to 90.31. And again, we're kind of in the middle of that, on our way towards it. So based on this, we have probability overall to the downside. Price has been pushed down with the UFO. The climate is confirmed to the downside. I wouldn't be surprised to see it continue to the downside. So with volatility on the dollar, we would expect in 1 year movement up or down of 5.68%. So in a day, that's 0.33 points up or down. In a week, 0.73 points up or down. And in 1 month, 1.52 points up or down. So that's the US dollar. Last market here is backed Bitcoin. So let's take a quick look at that. Now with backed Bitcoin, we have a similar situation to what we had yesterday. So we are seeing a thick blue dot, probability there to the upside. Usually we don't actually know how long this market usually goes up or down for, because it's not old enough yet. It's not been around long enough for us to say this usually happens, this doesn't usually happen. So we're kind of in the dark with that, but what we do know is we are on candle number 6 today of movement to the upside. It's what we see on the chart. Now in terms of buy orders, we actually are just within buy orders right now. We have buy orders at 40,467.5 to 31,615. So it's quite a wide range there, but we have buy orders there and we're just inside them. So again, we would expect them to push price upwards. And we have sell orders just here waiting for us there at 51,782.5 to 46,807.5. So with this, we have overall probability upwards. We're inside buy orders, so again, likely to push price up. Once we hit these sell orders, we might see a change in direction, but for the time being, probability up there for Bitcoin. Now, with volatility on Bitcoin, we'd expect in a year movement up or down of 94.86%, which means in a day, movement up or down of 2,401. In a week, up or down of 5,285.56. And in 1 month, up or down of 11,002.78. So these are the statistics and the data, the probabilities on these markets that we've gone through 5 major markets, and we've looked at where the probabilities lie up or down, where we have stacks of buyers or sellers that could change that or continue that, and we've looked at volatility as well, how fast we expect them to move. Last thing we need to look at very quickly is our economic calendar, just to see if we have any news coming out today that could affect us. So this is the FX Street economic calendar, and we've filtered by high impact news. So basically, we want to know what news articles or what news reports could be coming out today or in the next couple of days that could impact the markets we trade. So for example, today being Thursday, we have news coming out in a few minutes actually on the euro and on the US dollar. So if you trade those markets or trade stocks within those markets or within those countries, you might want to be aware of the fact that we have some news coming out very soon that could impact those markets. You might like that, you might want to keep away from that. Just be aware of what is happening so you can make your decision there. Any questions that you have, you can self-schedule a clarification call here with one of our experts to chat to somebody about the courses, the apps, coaching, memberships, what's going to be useful for you, if anything. If you have any questions on what I've covered today, you can email me, becky@tradictive.com, or you can go to tradewithufos.com/Becky, get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership if you don't have one already, and then come down and ask here in public so that I can answer the question in public and other people learn from that as well. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, so have a great trading day ahead of you. I'll see you tomorrow. Any questions, like I said, get hold of me. Otherwise, guys, have fun in the markets today and see you tomorrow.